Alright, class, good morning. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Alright, before we start our class, can you please pick up all the trashes that you can see and make your rows straight? Okay, very good job, everyone. So before you settle down, let us first acknowledge our Almighty God. Miss Karil, can you please lead the prayer?
Let us pray. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord and Father of all, thank you for today. Thank you for ways in which you provide for all. For your protection and love, we thank you. Help us to focus our hearts and minds now on what we are about to learn. Inspire us by your Holy Spirit as we listen and write. Guide us by your internal light as we discover more about the world around us. We ask all this in the name.
Amen. Okay, you may now take your seats, class. Thank you so much for that. So, alright, Miss Class Monitor, any absent for today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very impressive. Perfect attendance. Keep it up, everyone. So now, before we move on to the next topic, let us first review what we have discussed at our last meeting. Anyone? Okay, Miss?
Our previous topic is all about the types of sentences.
Okay, very good. So now we have discussed about the 4 types of sentences. Now, can someone enumerate me what are those 4 types of sentences and please give me a brief meaning about it? Alright, Miss Carrie?
We have discussed the 4 types of sentences. The first one is declarative, which is a statement. The second one is imperative, a command. Interrogative, a question. And exclamative, expresses a strong feeling.
Wow, very good. That's very impressive, Miss Carrie. Can you please give your classmate 3 claps? 1, 2, 3. Very good. Alright. So now before we proceed to our class, let's first read my objectives so that we will know what will be the flow of our lesson for today. So at the end of the lesson, the students will have been able to A. Define the dependent clause and independent clause, B. Interpret the type of clause used in the sentence, and the last one, C. Discern where in the sentence the dependent and independent clause are located. So, are you guys ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. You should be ready, class, because I've prepared a very interesting game. So, are you familiar with the Guess the Gibberish?
Really?
Okay, so now we are going to play the game Guess the Gibberish. So, in this exercise, you're going to read some random words and then you can read it loudly as long as you can guess the words correctly that's on the slide. Let's go first with this word. We have sin, ten, and sense. Anyone? Yes, very good. It is a sentence. Very good. So now, how about the next one? We have dip, pen, and dent. Anyone?
Dependent.
Wow, that's very impressive. The next one we have is in, depth, pen, and dent.
Independent.
Wow, very good. That is amazing. And the last one, we have call and loss.
Loss.
Very good. That's very wonderful. I'm so impressed that you aced the activity. Can you please give all yourselves 3 claps? 1, 2, 3. Very good. So now, as you can see, we've encountered different types of words. So those terms are the words that we're going to discuss in this lesson, which is we're going to discuss the dependent clause and independent clause. Now, let's go first talk about what is clause. Now, can someone, okay, so when we talk about clause, it talks about or typically define a related words that contains a subject and a verb. Now, I want you to keep this one in mind because we're going to encounter this one on the 2 types of clauses. Now, anyone in the class know what are the 2 types of clauses? Yes, very good. That is perfect. So in the clause is divided into 2, which is the dependent clause and in the dependent clause. So now let's go first talk about what is independent clause. Now when we talk about independent clause, it expresses a complete thought. It has a subject and a verb. So we have discussed that one a while ago, right? So it expresses a complete thought. It means when we read that sentence, we easily understand what does a sentence mean. So let's let's go ahead with the dependent clause. Now, the dependent clause, it also has a subject and a verb. However, the difference is it does not express a complete thought. It needs another main clause or an independent clause so that that sentence would be completed or would be understandable. Now, let's try to take a look at first this example. Kindly please all read.
Although it is raining, I am going out for a run.
Alright, so very good job on that one. Let's first identify where is the independent clause in the sentence. Okay, Miss Carrie?
The independent clause in the sentence is I am going out for a run.
Very good. So as you can see, we have the word I, which is a subject, and then am, and this is a verb now already. So now as you can see, when we read this one, it gives us a complete thought that the person itself wanted to go out for a run. However, where is the dependent clause? Anyone? Okay, Miss Carriel.
Although it is raining.
Yes, very good. As you can see, although it has a subject and a verb, however, although it is raining, we don't know what will happen next, right? So now, as you can see, we need this another clause so that we were going to understand what will this clause mean. Okay? So anyone, any questions? So far. All right, very good. So, okay. So since there are no questions at all, let me be the one to ask you. We have talked about clause, right? Now, what is clause once again? Okay, Miss?
It is a part of sentence.
Yes, very good. It is a part of sentence that it contains a subject and a verb. Good job. Now, how about the clause is divided into two? Now, what are those two types? Anyone in the class? Okay.
Independent and dependent clause.
Very good. Independent and dependent clause. Now, can someone differentiate me what are those or what are the differences of the dependent and independent clause? Okay, Miss?
Dependent clause is a clause that cannot stand alone, while the independent clause is a clause that can stand alone.
Okay, very good job. That's very impressive. So since everyone already know what will be, or since everyone is already understand, alright, ang gala ko itong mga evaluation? Ano to? Papel na to. Itong
Paper?
paper. Saan to? Ito ano? Wala.
For the ready now.
Since everyone already understood. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, very good job, Miss. Since everyone already understood the topic, so let's proceed to our activity. So now, our activity is you need to find a pair and quickly raise your hands if you can identify the dependent clause or independent clause in the sentence. The team that responds the first will receive 5 points. Now, are you guys ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Now let's go ahead with the first sentence. Just pray to God when you feel unsafe. Now, where is the independent and dependent clause? Alright, very good, Miss Caril Claire, which is the independent and dependent clause.
The dependent on the sentence is when you feel unsafe, and the independent is just pray to God.
Very good. That is fantastic. Good job. Let's have number 2. He takes his vitamins because he is weak. Now, which pair? Where do you think is the independent and dependent clause? Okay, very good, Miss Julianne. Where is it?
The independent clause is he takes his vitamins, and the dependent clause is because he is weak.
Wow, good job. That is perfect. Let's proceed with number 3. Can you please all read?
When I went to the supermarket, I met one of my students.
Okay, now anyone in the class, where is the dependent clause and independent clause? Okay, Miss Larocco?
dependent clause is I met one of my students, and then the dependent is when I went to the supermarket.
Wow, very good. That is fantastic. Good job. Now let's have the last sentence, which is people were impatient while waiting for their food supplies. Now, where is the dependent and dependent clause? All right.
The dependent clause is people were impatient, while the dependent clause is while waiting for their food.
That is a very impressive. Good job. Can you please give yourself 3 claps? 1, 2, 3. That is amazing. Now, anyone in the class, any questions, clarifications?
None so far, Ma'am.
Okay, that's very nice. Since you don't have any questions at all, let's proceed to your homework. Now, can you please get all your pens and notebooks and copy this homework? So, in your homework, you need to underline the independent clause once and the dependent clause twice in each sentence below. For example, when we get snow, that is the dependent clause, so I underlined it twice. While we will go sledding is the independent clause, so I underlined it once. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Are you done copying your assignment?
Yes, ma'am.
That's it. So, I want you to read. I also want you to read in advance the different sentence structures, because that we're going to discuss in our next lesson. Okay? So, any questions, everyone? Okay, so that would be all. Thank you. Class dismissed. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ma'am. Goodbye.